Hello and welcome back, everyone. It's great to be here.
It is. Hi, everyone. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thanks. I was just thinking about something before we started.
Oh, yeah? What was that?
I was thinking about when I first started learning a new language. My sentences were so short.
Oh, I know that feeling. Very short, like, I am happy, or I like pizza.
Exactly. I have a cat. Just very simple, basic ideas. And that's a great place to start.
It is. You need to start with the small things first. But today, I thought we could talk about how to make those small sentences a little longer.
That's a great idea. How do we go from I drink coffee to a more interesting sentence?
Well, that's a perfect example. Let's use that. I drink coffee. It's a good sentence. It's clear, but we can add more information.
Okay, so what's the first step?
I always like to think about questions, like when or where. So for I drink coffee, we can ask, when do you drink coffee?
Ah, I see. So I can say, I drink coffee in the morning.
Perfect. Now the sentence is a little longer and it has more detail. What about where? Where do you drink coffee in the morning?
I drink coffee in my kitchen in the morning.
See, it's growing. Now we have a nice, clear picture. We know what you do, when you do it, and where you do it.
It sounds so simple when you explain it like that. Let's try another one.
Okay, you give me a short sentence.
My sentence is, I read a book.
Great. I read a book. Now, let's ask those questions. When do you read a book?
I read a book before I go to sleep.
Nice. Where do you read your book?
I read a book in my bed before I go to sleep.
Wonderful. We can also ask why. Why do you read a book before you go to sleep?
Hmm, because it helps me relax. So I read a book in my bed before I go to sleep because it helps me relax.
Exactly. Look at that sentence. It started so small, and now it tells a whole story. It's much more natural.
That's true. When people talk, they usually give these details. They don't just say, I read a book.
Right. So a great way to practice speaking is to take a simple sentence about your day and try to add one more piece of information. Just one.
So I don't need to make a very long sentence all at once.
No, not at all. Small steps. Maybe today you say, I eat lunch. Tomorrow, you can try to say, I eat lunch at 1 o'clock. The next day, you can add more. I eat lunch with my friend at 1 o'clock.
That feels much easier. It's less pressure. Okay, so adding details like time and place is one way. What's another way to make sentences longer?
Another great way is to connect two small sentences. We can use simple words like and, but, and so.
Okay, I know those words. Let's start with and.
And is for connecting two similar ideas. For example, I like music. That's one idea. I like to dance. That's a second idea.
So I can say, I like music and I like to dance.
You got it. It's simple, but it makes your speaking flow better. Let's try another one. I have a brother. I have a sister.
I have a brother and a sister.
Perfect. Now, what about but? We use but to connect two different or opposite ideas.
Okay, so for example, I like coffee, and my brother, he doesn't like coffee. He likes tea.
That's a great example. How would you connect those with but?
I like coffee, but my brother likes tea.
Yes, it shows the difference between you and your brother. One more example. I want to go to the park. And it is raining.
I want to go to the park, but it is raining.
Excellent. The word but explains the problem. Now for the last one. So.
So is for a result, right? One thing happens because of another thing.
That's a perfect way to describe it. For example, I am hungry. What is the result?
I am hungry, so I will eat a sandwich.
Exactly. The sandwich is the result of being hungry. Let's use the rain example again. It is raining. What is the result?
It is raining, so I will take my umbrella.
You are a natural at this.
Well, these are really useful tools. So we can add details with when and where, and we can connect ideas with and, but, and so. This is great for speaking. What about for writing?
That's a great question. Writing is a fantastic way to practice this because you have more time to think.
You mean I don't have to be fast like in a conversation?
Right. You can sit with your sentence and really think about it. I often suggest people keep a very simple daily journal.
A diary?
Yes, you don't need to write pages and pages, just 1 or 2 sentences a day. For example, you can start by writing, "Today was a good day."
Okay, a very simple start.
Then you look at that sentence and ask yourself, why was it a good day? You can add because.
Today was a good day because I saw my friend.
Perfect. Now your sentence is better. Then you can think, what did we do? Maybe you can add that with and.
Today was a good day because I saw my friend and we went for a walk.
Now look at that. It's a beautiful long sentence. And you can do this every day. You can write about what you ate, what you watched, or how you feel.
And when you write, you can check your words. You can use a dictionary if you are not sure.
That's a huge advantage. Writing helps you build the sentences slowly and correctly. Then, when you speak, that practice will help you make longer sentences more naturally.
So the practice from writing helps my speaking.
Absolutely. They help each other. You practice building the sentences in your journal, and then it becomes easier to say them in a conversation.
This all makes so much sense. So let's do a quick review of what we talked about.
Good idea. So, to make our short sentences longer, we have a few tools.
First, for speaking and writing, we can add details. We can ask ourselves questions like when, where, who with, and why.
Yes, I go to work becomes I go to work by bus every morning because it is easy.
And the second tool is using connecting words.
Right, we can use and for similar ideas like I like apples and I like bananas.
We can use but for different ideas. He is tired, but he needs to work.
And we use so for result. She was sick, so she went to the doctor.
And practicing this in a written journal is a really good way to get better because we have more time to think and check our work.
That's it exactly. The most important thing is to start small. Don't feel like you have to say or write a perfect long sentence on your first try.
Just add one little thing, one detail, one connecting word.
Yes, small steps lead to big progress.
This has been a very helpful discussion. I think these are tips that anyone can start using today.
I agree. And it can be fun to see your sentences get longer and more descriptive over time.
It really can. Well, I think that's all the time we have for today.
It is. Thank you all for listening to us today. We hope this helps you with your English practice.
Yes, a big thank you from me too. Keep practicing and don't be afraid to make your sentences a little longer next time you speak or write.
Join us again next time for another chat. Bye for now.
Goodbye, everyone.